Kia ora, I'm Hera and welcome to my kitchen. I love to cook and I love to eat good food.
Oh man, if only you could taste this.
Cooking for me is all about whānau.
All my siblings cook putai fritters and everybody has that secret recipe.
But as a mum, when life gets crazy busy, all I want is delicious kai that's simple and easy to make. I'm about to demystify and uncomplicate cooking, recreating restaurant-quality dishes right from my kitchen.
I'm all about Hera's hard and fast recipes. The prep is nice and easy, and just like that, the girls would never know that I only took 5 minutes to put this together.
Because simple doesn't have to mean boring.
Yum.
In each episode, I'll be cooking up 4 of my favourite dishes for you to try at home. I'm using real food, ingredients you can find at any supermarket.
Even in pack and save in Kaitaia.
Or kai that has been foraged or caught from the land and sea. I'll share with you my tips and tricks
Cheers.
to take the stress out of cooking. This is Easy Eats. Kei tēnei hōtaka. The most delicious eggplant parmigiana.
Hearty party in the mouth. Cheers.
My uncle's secret recipe for raw fish.
Regardless of the occasion, whether it's a 21st, a birthday or a wedding, there's always that beautiful bowl of raw fish.
I cook steak medium rare, just the way I like it.
This is definitely perfection on a plate.
Hei haka kōpani ake, my famous coconut sweet Thai Chilli Mussels.
Layered with a heap of butter. Oh my God. I'm a meat lover, but not all great meals have to have meat in them. This is a great alternative for that one day that you choose not to eat meat. I'm going to combine the beautiful flavours of vegetables and cheese and create an eggplant parmigiana. We're going to begin with slicing our eggplant, and you're going for at least maybe ½ an inch.
Beat 2 eggs to coat our eggplant for the crumb.
Give that a good whisk. Bit of salt and pepper. And now we're going to batter our eggplant. Dip it in some flour, then the egg, and then the crumb. And you're just going to repeat that until all of your eggplant is done. So now that that's done, we're going to clear the bench, wash our hands, and get ready to give them a quick fry. The frying pan's been heating up. We're going to add some oil. And what we're looking for is just to brown the eggplant. It doesn't need to be cooked right through because we are going to bake it. So we're just going to brown them, get a little bit of colour on it. We should be good to go. Be careful, the hinu will pop and it will start crackling and going everywhere. But that can't be helped, it's all part of cooking. My go-to hope action. Kapahaka comes in handy. All right, we're getting a beautiful sizzle on these. Like I said, we just want them to go nice and brown. So now that that's done, we're going to remove them from the hot heat, put them into the baking dish and get ready to add the rest of our ingredients. So the beauty about this dish is that everything literally just gets thrown in, nicely of course, and with love, but that's pretty much the base of this dish. We're going to go in with some tomatoes. We're going to go in with some beautiful tomato pasta sauce. Beautiful Parmesan cheese. Now, this is definitely a dish that you should not be light on the cheese. You want to get in there and go hard. We're going to go in with some mozzarella. We're going to finish it off with some beautiful fresh basil. We're going to pop that into the oven to bake for about 4 to 5 minutes, and then we'll be ready. So it's been in the oven for about 4 to 6 minutes. It's time to plate up. So what I'm doing here, I'm just creating a beautiful stack. Oh, that parmesan looks divine. These tomatoes are going to be perfect. That mozzarella is just mounted so beautifully. Oh. Okay, we're going to add some pesto.
Some more Parmesan cheese. And to garnish, a little mozzarella, basil and cherry tomatoes.
Hera Te Kai. Now this is the fun and exciting part. Koe nei te wahanga pai ki au. It's time to dig in. Oh, yum. To get some of that cheese. Oh. The basil is just shining through. Absolutely beautiful. Tomatoes are there. You can definitely taste the tomatoes. You can taste everything that's gone into this dish. Hearty party in the mouth. Cheers.
E whai ake nei, raw fish and fried bread. What a combo.
Regardless of the occasion, whether it's a 21st, a birthday or a wedding, there's always that beautiful bowl of raw fish. Now, raw fish is something that you can get all over the world. There are many varieties and many ways to have it. But I'm going to do the way that I learnt from my uncle who's from Aitutaki. So the fish that I like to use is trevally. And the reason why I use trevally is because it is a fish that's quite solid. You can get different types of fish that once you add lemon to it, it tends to break. So I want a fish that's going to hold all that flavour and last. Well, maybe not last, because if it's that good, it will go.
Tuatahi ake, tapahia te ika.
I kind of don't see any point if you can't taste the fish. So I like them nice and chunky. Now, it is always a blessing if you're able to get uncle's or husband's sharp butcher knife to do your raw fish. But for some unknown reason, every time I end up on the marae, I always get that blunt one. So I have, I'll be honest, butchered some of my raw fish.
A good kitchen habit to have. I'm changing over to a fresh board to start on the veggies.
So I've washed my hands. We're going to get in there, squeeze some lemon, add some salt, and then I'm going to get into cutting our veggies. So the thing with the lemon is that once you add it to the fish will start to turn white because it's slightly cooking it. But we don't want it too cooked, otherwise it wouldn't technically be raw fish.
Tapahia ngā spring onions. Te aniana whero. Waihoki ngā ramikama.
So that's done. We're just going to add our veggies. Just going to stir it. I can see the lemon cooking through. Going to add a bit of pepper. So I haven't added all the veggies in because I don't want it to look like a fruit salad or a veggie salad. I want you to still be able to see the fish, but I also want you to see the colours of the beautiful vegetables.
Add a good thick coconut cream and combine.
We're going to go in for a taste. Uncle, you'd be so proud. You'd love this. It's going to go fantastic with our fried bread that I'm going to make. We're going to cover and chill and put in the fridge. So we're going to check our dough, hoping that it's doubled in size. It's looking pretty good, almost like Mum's. So we're going to get into making our fry bread, and the first thing that I'm going to do is oil my hands.
Oiling my hands ensures that no dough or flour stick to them. There's nothing worse than having to scrape off bits of dry dough.
Add it to our bread, and the reason why we use oil is that back in the days we used to lie the bread out on a bench, lots of flour, use a bread knife to cut it, throw it into the pan, but the flour on the bread used to sit at the bottom of the pan and it will start to burn. So using this oil method allows the bread to slip on in there, and there's going to be no burning flour on the bottom. I'm going to use this part of my hand, measure out my bread size. Going to get it into a shape that I like. So as you're placing your bread in, the oil or the hinu needs to be really hot. You want to see it bubble, you want to see it sizzle. And what should happen is when you place your bread in, it should rise to the top. It should take about a couple of minutes on each side. And like I said before, by adding the oil when I place the dough in, it keeps my oil nice and clean and I'm able to see straight through it. So the hope is that it's golden on both sides and not burnt. Otherwise you'll get the sack from this job in my marae. That's exactly what you want to see. You want to see your oil bubbling, but you don't want to see it smoking because that means that it's too hot. A couple of other things that you can do with this as well is you could actually do smaller balls and add them in. You can add sugar and cinnamon and make mini donuts. You can do all sorts of things. Well, these are ready. All perfect to go with our raw fish. So all we need to do is plate them up and get stuck into it. So our raw fish is lovely and chilled. I can't wait to get this on the plate. Going in with my trustworthy ladle. Looks and smells delicious. Add some lemon. A little bit of parsley, just for that colour. Our beautiful crunchy fry bread. And there you have it, coconut raw fish with Mum's crunchy fry bread.
Like this raw fish, some of my favourite recipes are passed down through whānau. If food is love, then passing down what you know about how to prepare it is a big part of that.
My favourite part of cooking is always the eating. And I'm getting into this. Yum. That bread is beautiful and crunchy. It's always a good sign when that butter starts dripping down those fingers.
E whai nei, nothing beats a hot piece of steak, especially when there's herb butter involved. This is Easy Eats, recreating restaurant quality dishes right from my kitchen. I'm using real food, ingredients you can find at any supermarket. When life gets crazy busy, all I want is delicious kai that's simple and easy to make.
If you love meat, I'm going to show you how to make the most juiciest steak. It is up there, accompanied with a beautiful herb butter and broccolini. So to start off, we're going to use our good old food processor. If you don't have a food processor, don't panic. Use your NutriBullet. Use whatever you can, as long as it can combine all the ingredients together. So into this goes our herbs. We're going to go in with rosemary. We're going to go in with some flat leaf parsley. And of course, some garlic. So I'm going to blitz all these herbs and garlic together before we add the butter. It's about perfect. We're now going to add the butter. Make sure your butter is at room temperature. It helps the mixing process. And let's mix this together. That looks about right. We're going to spread out our glad wrap and get ready to roll. Nice and simple. Let's not make a fuss about it. We're going to add our herb butter, and you want it to sit around the back part of your glad wrap. It's kind of very much like sushi. You can smell all those herbs. And we're going for probably around the size of a salami. That seems about perfect. Let's pop it into the fridge for about an hour so that it's nice and solid. So you can have rump or you can have sirloin, but for me, right at the top of my triangle is eye fillet. It is juicy, it is succulent, it is everything that you want a piece of meat to be. My pan is preheated. I'm going to add some oil. Don't forget, it must be hot. You can hear that crackle. Beautiful pieces of eye fillet right here. I'm going to quickly season while it's on the side with some salt, some pepper, and let's get it in. And there you have it, my meat symphony orchestra.
While your meat is cooking, continue to season with salt and pepper. A piece of steak this thick should take around 3 to 4 minutes each side for perfect medium rare eye fillet.
So, because we're all about those quick and easy recipes, gourmet food made in your kitchen, we're going to add our broccolini, so it's going to soak up all those beautiful eye fillet juices and that hanu, and it coats it nice and crispy.
Refrain from constantly turning your broccolini so that they get a little crispy. They should take roughly around 4 to 5 minutes. Our steak is ready, so let's get ready to plate.
While that's cooked, it's time to add the herb butter.
Slice right through the plastic into discs approximately 2 centimetres wide.
The way that I love my steak is seared on the outside and beautiful deep red on the inside with those juices flowing.
The beauty of this dish is that by adding a simple herb butter and placement of other ingredients, we are able to transform a simple dish into something that looks and tastes amazing.
There is nothing better than an eye fillet steak with melted herb butter and crunchy broccolini. Can't wait to get my lips around this. Oh, look at that meat. So juicy and so tender. All those herbs are coming through that butter. This is definitely perfection on a plate. My eye fillet is cooked to perfection. It's juicy. It's red in the middle. That butter has oozed and melted to perfection. And those broccolinis are so crunchy. And the steak is cooked just how I like it. And that herb butter just adds that extra punch. Party in your mouth. Everybody knows that I absolutely love kai moana. And this is one of my signature dishes. This is a dish that you want me to cook for you at your next party. Coconut Thai kutai. The beautiful thing about kutai and my memories that I have with this is going to Ahipara. There's a beautiful mussel rock there, taking my kids, picking those kutai off, taking them back home and being able to create this quick and easy, simple recipe. It's a one-pot hit wonder and I'm telling you, you are going to love this dish.
Ka hore e ko atu I te parawa hei tautau I te wairanu o ngā kutai nei. he reka, he māma, ka mutu, e hara I te mea he nui ngā kinaki o roto.
All right, so we're going to get started cooking our kutai. Today I'm going to be cooking it in a wok. If you do not have a wok, don't worry. You can do it in any deep dish frying pan. It works a treat. As long as you're able to get a lid on there, you're good to go. We're going to add some butter. Butter is my best friend. And watch that baby mount. So to this, I'm going to add the garlic. This is a one wok wonder. Now I'm going to add sweet Thai chili. This just gives it that kick, that spiciness, and once again, helps with the caramelisation. And lastly, brown sugar. It smells absolutely divine. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add the kutai. It is good just to give them a little bit of a clean up. There's nothing worse than chewing on or biting on barnacles. So give them a quick clean and it's easy, done with a knife. Just a quick stir. So now we're going to add the coconut cream. And the reason why I added it at the end is that what it's going to do is that it's going to also caramelise in with the ingredients that are already in there. It's also going to coat all of our kutai. And what this is going to do is add that beautiful nuttiness, that coconutty flavour into our mussels, because not only are you going to eat the mussels, but you're going to suck those shells and you're going to be so delicious. You're going to give that a quick stir just to combine all the ingredients. But we always talk about quick, easy, gourmet restaurant quality kai. This is definitely a winner. And all I have to do now, pop that lid on, walk away, come back in 10 minutes, and this kai will be ready. So those are all nice and cooked. And here's a little tip and trick for you when cooking kutai. What you want to do is that you want to ensure that the shells are about 3/4 of the way open, because what will happen is when you remove them from the pot and put them into the plate, they will close just slightly. They're going to be beautiful and moist. You don't want them rubbery. There's nothing worse than eating a rubbery kutai. But let me tell you, these are going to be so juicy and beautiful. Kua tai ki te wā, kia hora I te kai. It's time to plate up.
When I plate up this dish, I like to make sure my mussels are all facing upwards. So when it's time for the juices to be poured over, every single one gets a little love.
Smells so delicious. My handy dandy ladle.
Hakarākeitia ki te pārihi, ki te hirika kā hoki. And serve with slices of bread to mop up all those delicious juices.
Anei, and there you have it, my famous coconut Thai kutai. Now there are many ways to eat kutai, with a knife, with a spoon, scoop it out. But for me, my best way is with my hands and just getting in there. I can't wait to taste this. Got to get some of that juice. There's nothing more satisfying than eating seafood straight out of the shell. The beauty about this dish is having this bread. You can have rewana, you can have fry bread. You can use it to dip it in the sauce, and all those juices are so delicious. And layered with a heap of butter. Oh my God.
It is essential that you leave any leftovers to cool completely before storing them in an airtight container and popping them into the fridge. Hoki mai anō mō ētahi tohutaka māmarawa hei haka miharo I te whānau. E noho rā.